this isn't empty rhetoric. Trump's team is reportedly dusting off rarely used immigration statutes, viewing the couple's litigious behavior as a direct threat to national calm. The timing couldn't be more poetic, just months into Trump's second term. With border security at the forefront of his agenda, Meghan and Harry's high-profile antics have painted a target on their backs. White House aides confide that the president sees their constant court battles against tabloids, family members, and even vague injustices as emblematic of the chaos he vowed to eradicate. They're not just singing for fun, one senior advisor allegedly quipped. They're turning America into their personal courtroom drama, and the boss isn't having it. The shockwaves from Trump's words rippled through Hollywood and diplomatic circles alike, with immigration lawyers barely containing their astonishment at how quickly this could escalate. What makes this threat so potent is Trump's track record. He doesn't bluff on deportations. Remember the swift actions against high-profile figures in his first term. This could dwarf them all. Meghan, the American-born Duchess who once symbolized transatlantic glamour, now risks being branded an unwelcome agitator in her own homeland. Harry, the British prince who traded crowns for California sunshine, might find his visa status scrutinized like never before. Administration sources hint that preliminary reviews of their residency papers are already underway, with Trump's comments serving as the green light for acceleration. The irony is delicious. The couple who fled the UK citing privacy invasions now face the ultimate invasion, forced removal from their adopted paradise. But as we'll uncover, this isn't just about lawsuits. It's a clash of egos, laws, and loyalties that's been brewing since they touched down in the States. Diving deeper into the trouble Trump referenced, it's clear the Sussexes' legal entanglements have morphed from defensive maneuvers into a full-blown offensive strategy that's irking the wrong people. From their multi-million-dollar suits against British media outlets for alleged privacy breaches to Harry's ongoing battles over security details and even whispers of defamation claims against critics, their docket reads like a Hollywood script gone rogue. Insiders in the legal community suggest Meghan views these lawsuits as empowerment tools, a way to reclaim narrative control after years of royal scrutiny. But to Trump's administration, they're a nuisance at best, a subversion at worst. All these lawsuits, as Trump put it, aren't just personal. They're clogging courts, stirring media frenzies, and, according to some conservative pundits, undermining American values of self-reliance by turning every grievance into litigation gold. Sources familiar with Homeland Security briefings reveal that the couple's actions have drawn scrutiny for potentially violating the spirit of their visa terms. Harry entered the US on an O-1 visa for extraordinary ability, ostensibly for his Invictus Games work and media ventures. Yet, critics argue his real ability seems to be generating controversy. Meghan, as a US citizen, is safe from direct deportation, but experts warn her status could complicate things if Harry's expulsion forces a family split, or worse, if her involvement in troublemaking activities triggers dual loyalty probes. The press conference bombshell came amid escalating tensions. Just weeks prior, Harry lost another round in his UK security lawsuit, prompting fresh American filings that allegedly crossed Trump's radar. White House watchers say the president, ever the showman, timed his remark to coincide with immigration reform pushes, using the Sussexes as a high-visibility example. They're not quieting down, Trump implied, and sources confirm internal memos label their legal barrage as disruptive influence. Legal analysts are buzzing that this could invoke obscure clauses in immigration law, where persistent litigation deemed harmful to public order might accelerate removal proceedings. The couple's Netflix deals and book tours, once seen as savvy branding, now appear as ammunition for detractors who claim they're exploiting US freedoms while biting the hand that feeds. Palace echoes from across the pond add fuel. British royals reportedly view this as sweet vindication, with insiders chuckling that the Sussexes' American dream is crumbling under self-inflicted weight. But the real fascination lies in how Trump's offhand threat exposes the fragility of their setup. One more lawsuit, and the deportation machinery could rev up irreversibly. Whispers from deep within the administration paint a picture of deportation plans accelerating at breakneck speed, far beyond mere speculation. Source close to immigration and customs enforcement, confide that Trump's comment wasn't improvised. It followed classified briefings where the Sussex file was flagged as a priority review. Apparently, Harry's visa renewal is up for scrutiny, with agents poring over every public statement, lawsuit, and media appearance for signs of moral turpitude or activities contrary to US interests. One insider described the process as Trump's fast-track express, invoking executive powers honed during his first term's border crackdowns. Meghan's role complicates matters. She's reportedly been advising on legal strategies, blurring lines between supporter and instigator. Administration leakers suggest that if evidence mounts of her orchestrating trouble, it could invoke rarely used denaturalization statutes, though experts call that a long shot. More likely, Harry's O1 status gets revoked for failing to maintain extraordinary contributions amid controversy. The president's inner circle views this as low-hanging fruit, expel Harry, and Meghan might follow voluntarily, solving the problem without messy citizenship fights. Diplomatic cables obtained by sources indicate quiet consultations with UK officials, ensuring no international fallout. After all, the royals aren't rushing to Harry's defence. Trump's team is allegedly preparing contingency plans, including asset freezes on their Montecito mansion if deportation looms. The speed is staggering. Precedents from celebrity cases like those involving foreign entertainers show proceedings can wrap in months under presidential push. Insiders hint at a quiet-down ultimatum already dispatched through back channels, warning that continued lawsuits could trigger immediate action. The audacity here is Trump's hallmark, using a press gaggle to signal intent, forcing the Sussexes into defensive mode. Legal eagles in DC are abuzz, predicting a hearing before summer if they don't comply. But what elevates this to spectacle is the personal angle. Trump, who once hosted Meghan on The Apprentice, now sees her as a symbol of elite overreach. Sources say he's relishing the irony, viewing expulsion as a believe me moment to rally his base. The machinery is oiled, the plans drafted, all that's left is the trigger. At the heart of this impending expulsion lies a web of legal foundations so ironclad that even the Sussexes' high-powered attorneys might balk. Immigration law experts explain that Harry's status hinges on proving ongoing extraordinary ability, without becoming a public charge, or engaging in activities that disrupt societal harmony. Trump's reference to stirring up trouble aligns perfectly with clauses allowing revocation for conduct deemed adverse to US interests. Think INA Section 212A, 3A, which bars those posing security risks, broadly interpreted under executive discretion. Sources in the Department of Homeland Security whisper that their lawsuits, particularly those with international ramifications, could be framed as diplomatic interference, especially given Harry's foreign royal ties. Meghan's citizenship offers no blanket shield. If Harry's deported, family unity visas won't apply if grounds for removal are aggravated. Legal scholars point to precedents where persistent litigation led to visa denials, citing cases of activists whose court battles were seen as inciting division. Trump's administration, with its emphasis on America first, could classify their media empire as foreign propaganda, invoking the Foreign Agents Registration Act if untied threads emerge. The president's comment accelerates this. Executive orders from his first term streamlined deportations for visa holders with controversial profiles. Insiders reveal preliminary audits of their finances, searching for visa violations like unreported income from royal-adjacent deals. The brilliance or brutality of the legal strategy is its simplicity. No need for criminal charges, just administrative revocation. Constitutional lawyers describe Trump's power here as near absolute, with courts deferring to executive immigration decisions post-Chevron overturn. For Meghan, the trap is subtler. Her dual role could spark denaturalization probes under 8 U.S.C. One if loyalty questions arise. Experts warn this echoes historical cases where Americans with foreign titles face scrutiny. The foundation is built on Trump's words, transforming casual lawsuits into expulsion fuel. As one barrister put it, they're playing checkers, Trump's playing deportation chess. Expert opinions from immigration and constitutional scholars are pouring in, unanimous in their assessment that the Sussexes' position is perilously weak amid Trump's pointed warning. Trump's not bluffing, declares Professor Eleanor Vasquez, a leading authority on U.S. visa law at Harvard, her voice carrying the weight of decades analyzing executive immigration powers. That press conference was a deliberate warning shot, keep litigating and stirring discord, and Harry's O1 visa crumbles like a house of cards under administrative scrutiny. Scholars across the board emphasize how Trump's casual reference to trouble translates into potent legal ammunition. Persistent lawsuits generating public discord and media frenzy can easily be framed as detrimental conduct or activities contrary to U.S. interests, accelerating removal under expedited procedures reserved for high-profile cases. Dr. Marcus Hale, former ICE counsel with insider knowledge of enforcement priorities, scoffs at any optimistic defences from the Montecito camp, noting sharply, extraordinary ability visas aren't lifelong shields for endless court drama and controversy generation. They're strictly for genuine contributions, not perpetual controversies that disrupt national harmony. International law experts pile on, highlighting how Harry's lingering princely status and foreign ties complicate matters enormously, potentially invoking rarely tested but powerfully potent divided allegiance clauses that Trump's administration could wield with ruthless efficiency. Meghan's American roots offer no ironclad salvation here, Hale adds gravely, especially if she's perceived as actively enabling or orchestrating foreign influence disruption through their joint legal barrages. The emerging consensus among top minds holds that deportation proceedings could unfold with alarming swiftness, potentially within 90 days, if flagged as presidential priority, with judicial appeals rendered largely futile against broad executive directives in immigration matters. Political scientists frame this as Trump's calculated masterstroke, cleverly deploying celebrity targets to underscore his unwavering immigration toughness and rally public support. The lawsuits are the perfect hook, says analyst Dr. Sophia Grant, a keen observer of White House strategy. But the deeper issue is their entire brand of high-profile disruption, clashing head-on with the disciplined mega vision of order and accountability. Experts widely predict that the couple might opt for voluntary departure to sidestep utter public humiliation. But if they dig in defiantly and force the issue, courts are unlikely to intervene meaningfully against determined executive action. The prevailing tone among these scholars is one of grim inevitability. Trump's deportation machinery is notoriously relentless and well-oiled from his first term. And the Sussexes' apparent legal naivety, underestimating how personal grievances can morph into national security pretexts, seals their precarious fate in this escalating transatlantic showdown. As Vasquez sums it up with chilling finality, quiet down immediately or start packing up, believe him, because he means it this time. Drawing from historical precedents sharpens the blade of this deportation threat, revealing patterns that doom the Sussexes to a similar fate. Recall the protracted battle of John Lennon in the 1970s, whose anti-war activism and minor drug conviction triggered Nixon-era deportation proceedings. Trump's playbook echoes that executive overreach, now amplified by modern powers and streamlined enforcement. More recently, high-profile visa revocations for foreign figures entangled in scandals or perceived disruptions illustrate how moral turpitude clauses, broadly interpreted to cover conduct shocking public conscience, ensnare even the celebrated and litigious. Experts point to cases like British musician Cat Stevens, Yusuf Islam, deported in 2004 over alleged security ties, mirroring Harry's foreign connections and controversial profile. Trump's first term provided chilling parallels, swift removals of visa holders deemed disruptive, with courts upholding executive discretion in over 90% of challenges, prioritizing national interests over individual pleas. Think broader than isolated incidents. Immigration historians highlight Red Scare-era expulsions of activists for subversive speech, or Wash-2 loyalty probes stripping status from those with divided allegiances for far lesser troubles. Meghan's American citizenship evokes echoes of McCarthy-era denaturalizations, where perceived foreign sympathies invited ruin. Precedents are stacked against them like a house of cards, says historian Dr. Liam Thorpe, framing lawsuits as trouble or public discord. That's straight from the presidential anti-agitator handbook, weaponizing immigration against high-profile irritants. Comparisons to deported foreign entertainers and activists underscore the peril persistent legal actions or media storms, reframed as societal subversion, pave swift paths to exits. Trump's press conference quip invokes these historical ghosts, casting the Sussexes as contemporary exemplars in a long tradition of celebrity expulsions. The lesson etched in decades of case law is unforgiving. When presidents personally target perceived threats, expulsion follows relentlessly. No royal lineage, fame, or litigation arsenal exempts you from the machinery's grind. The implications for the Sussexes' life and brand would be nothing short of apocalyptic if expulsion materializes, a cataclysmic unraveling of everything they've meticulously constructed since fleeing Britain. Their sprawling Montecito fortress, that gleaming symbol of hard-won independence and California dreaming, could face forced sale or asset freezes amid rigorous government reviews, shattering the carefully curated illusion of unassailable stability and turning their idyllic haven into a fleeting memory. Brand experts predict an immediate, vertiginous nosedive. Netflix contracts quietly evaporate, Spotify permanently ghosts them, and major studios recoil from any association with deportation drama, fearing the toxic fallout. Who in their right mind wants to partner with expellees? Quips Hollywood insider Carla Voss, her words echoing through executive suites already distancing themselves. Public perception undergoes a brutal, irreversible shift, from glamorous rebels fighting the establishment to pathetic rejects, embodying elite overreach, with Trump's fervent base cheering the move as long overdue accountability for privileged agitators. Family fractures loom large and heartbreaking. Archie and Lilibet's dual citizenship creates nightmarish logistical complications for any relocation, forcing wrenching choices between Canada, a neutral but chilly fallback, the UK, where icy royal frost and public disdain await, or some obscure third country desperate for privacy. Financially, the ongoing lawsuits already drain their coffers like open wounds, while expulsion piles on exorbitant relocation costs, legal battles, and lost income streams, rapidly eroding their once vaunted $100 million empire into something far more precarious. Socially, isolation intensifies to suffocating levels. A-list friends quietly distance themselves to avoid guilt by association, former allies vanish overnight, and the media turns relentlessly predatory, feasting on every humiliating detail. Voss warns gravely, Their carefully nurtured narrative of victimhood crumbles overnight. Expulsion doesn't whisper failure, it screams it from every headline. Global ramifications ripple outward in waves of diplomatic snubs, with former allies and international partners viewing them as radioactive pariahs unworthy of red carpet welcomes or serious platforms. Yet, amid this personal tragedy lies pure political opportunity for Trump, a glittering win-win spectacle that supercharges his image as the unflinching enforcer of American sovereignty. For Meghan and Harry, it's nothing less than brand Armageddon, a devastating fall from transatlantic power couple to eternal cautionary tale of hubris meeting immovable authority. In this transatlantic expulsion saga, less royal reckoning, more American immigration nightmare, the Sussexes' carefully constructed California idyll now teeters on the precipice of Trump's unyielding enforcement grip. What started as a barrage of lawsuits framed as quests for justice and privacy has spiraled into deportation doom, a stark testament to celebrity overreach colliding head-on with an immovable presidential force obsessed with border sovereignty. Insiders deep within the Department of Homeland Security confirm the deportation machinery is already humming ominously in the background. Preliminary reviews of Harry's visa dossier have accelerated, with agents reportedly cross-referencing every public utterance, legal filing, and media spectacle for violations that could trigger swift revocation. If the couple fails to heed the implicit quiet down edict embedded in Trump's pointed press conference warning, sources suggest Harry's packing crates could be filling by early spring, forcing a humiliating retreat from their Montecito haven. The couple's once admirable defiance against perceived injustices, tabloid intrusions, royal slights, endless grievances has morphed into self-sabotage, inviting ruin on a scale that unites critics across the political spectrum in gleeful consensus. Their glamorous US chapter, built on Netflix empires and podcast proclamations, is slamming shut with finality. Trump's off-the-cuff press quip wasn't mere jest or showmanship. It was deliberate judgment, a calculated signal to his base, and the world that no high-profile agitator, royal or otherwise, escapes the long arm of America First immigration retribution. As immigration scholars and constitutional experts chorus in near-unanimous agreement, resistance proves utterly futile. The expulsion process, once ignited by presidential priority, barrels forward with relentless inevitability, appeals drowned out by executive discretion. The glittering Montecito dream, that sun-soaked symbol of reinvention and independence, dissolves into bitter aftermath, leaving only the echoing resonance of Trump's signature "Believe me" as the couple's unwitting epitaph in this land they once claimed as sanctuary.